Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 Nemmy Awards. I'm Jared Shea.
Yeah. Should I keep going?
Yeah. And then introduce you.
What? But they didn't play the video.
Play it.
He's right there.
Play it.
Mustang Magazine is a show produced by advanced broadcast journalism students from Norwood High School.
I'm Joseph Dorsey here with this month's edition of Mustang Sports.
Welcome to this episode of NHS Update.
Good morning, Mustangs. I'm Volta Santiago here with your sports update.
So lather up.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 Nemmy Awards. I'm Jared Shea.
And I'm Juliana O'Neill. Jared and I are sophomores in the NHS-TV program here at Norwood High. As a matter of fact, the award ceremony tonight is brought to you entirely by our sophomore class. We appreciate this high honor and opportunity.
The NHS-TV program encompasses more than 100 students ranging from freshmen to seniors. Our task at the TV program is to broadcast content to our fellow classmates along with the Norwood community.
Our TV students are responsible for all production that goes into our programming, which includes a daily morning news show, a monthly news magazine, and several other programs involving sports, arts, and different activities around the school.
Tonight is about recognizing the students that have gone above and beyond to bring you high-quality content.
We will be honoring the best segments in various categories that have run from September of 2018 to April of this year.
Our opening clip that you just saw includes many of these nominees. And now, we would like to introduce our TV production teacher and mentor, Mr. Brunt.
Oh boy. Judging by how they acted at the STN closing ceremonies, I'm sure I'm going to get my fill tonight. I'm not going to wing it tonight. I'm going to read something I prepared. I don't see the first page here. So I'm going to read from the small ones, and I do need my glasses. But welcome, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the 2019 Nemmy Awards. This is our 7th year holding this event for the public. Tonight's program is broadcasting live to the Norwood community and streaming online at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Re-airings will occur on the educational network throughout the summer. Tonight we'll celebrate all the success that the NHS-TV program had this school year and the students who worked hard to keep this thing running. But before we start giving out the awards, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the people who make this amazing program possible. First, the students and faculty of Norwood High School. Thank you for allowing us to come into your classrooms and in many cases your lives. It's easy to tell stories when there are so many amazing characters around us. Special thank yous to the Fine Arts Department, Kathy Connor-Moen, and our principal, Dr. Galligan, for supporting our program. And a big shout out to the front office staff for all your hard work coordinating teacher announcements and assisting with the NHS Update morning announcements procedures. Thanks to all the amazing parents who have raised an outstanding group of individuals for whom I have the pleasure of working with each and every day. And finally, I'd like to thank the staff of Norwood Community Media. Our unique partnership with their group is a huge contributor to the success of our program. Without their support and mentorship, a lot of what we do would not be possible. Jack, Megan, Mike, Brian, and Aaron, thank you. Okay, we have a lot to celebrate tonight. This is an amazing group of students and a special group of seniors. We spent 4 years together, and after tonight, they will go off on their own journeys through life. Hopefully, their experiences in this program have helped to better prepare them for their future. Quite a few of them will be pursuing communications or media as a career. This is a testament to how important this curriculum is in the high school. NHS-TV students leave this program with a solid foundation on how media is created and what their role is as a producer and a consumer. Students develop skills for living in a knowledge-based, highly technological society because they've practiced it in class. Through the process of completing a video project, students are solving highly complex problems using digital tools like video cameras and computers. They're conducting research, devising a plan, gathering and managing information, and synthesizing new media. These are 21st century skills that help students become directors and managers of their own learning process and masters of their own opportunities. These skills can and will transfer into any field they choose to pursue. Tonight we'll honor the student journalists and media makers that produced all the meaningful content for NHS-TV this school year. Before we do that, we'll recognize the students who work on our staff and talk a little bit about the outside recognition our program received this year. This is a talented group, and I'm very proud to say that I am their teacher and advisor. So without any more delay, I'm turning things back over to the sophomores who are producing this event tonight. Thank you to everyone for coming, and now enjoy the show.
What? Thank you, Mr. Brunt. It's a special honor to be in the TV program and having you guiding us through it.
Now it's time to recognize some spectacular students from the NHS-TV staff. As we call you up, please get your certificate and remain up front until everybody has been called, so we can take a group picture.
To start, we are going to recognize a large group of students who are dedicated to putting on the news every school morning.
This staff produces a live news show that plays to the school and community every morning at 7:45. These students come to school early to make sure the show is ready to go when the tardy bell rings. Here is your 2018-19 NHS Update staff. News Director, Austin Reardon. Assistant News Director, Audrey Scafati. Production crew, Sahudi Adhikari, Stephen Allinger, Renee Babineau, Robert Boussier, Jenny Carroll, Rory Kerr, Xavier Cohen, Michael Curley, Kevin Curtis, Dan Gruber, Isabel Hagelin, Lexi Hatch, Adeline Janed, Ali Kelleher, Ryan Kelly, Will Levesque, Ali McDonough, Calvin Meyer, Aiden Mulligan, Delaney Reardon, Tim Rose, Walter Santiago, Sophia Saratori, Kevin Sisk, Joe Spadorsha, Morgan Turchetta, Angie Veron, and Aaron Wagner.
Another group of students we would like to recognize tonight is the Ustang Sports Crew. This group works to bring the student body and community sports-related content. From the blogs and interview to profiles, highlights, and podcasts, they do it all. Here is this year's Ustang Sports Crew. Sports Director, Michael Curley. Crew, Austin Reardon, Walter Santiago, Joe Spadorsha, and Brandon Walsh. And Aiden Mulligan.
Oh, we didn't have that. That's all. A final group we would like to recognize are the equipment managers. Without their help and dedication, we would not be able to take care and maintain the NHS-TV equipment. Here are this year's equipment managers. Head Equipment Manager, Kevin Curtis, Robert L. Dule, and Maddie McMahon.
That is so
The fact that they clap and I keep going.
they aren't here.
Maddie's here. And Robert is in here.
Thank you to all the amazing students that have taken on the extra responsibility to make sure NHS Update runs smoothly every morning. We appreciate your dedication over the years.
Now we would like to talk about a few students from our program who were honored by outside organizations throughout the year. We would like to take a moment to recognize them tonight.
No need to come up to the podium, we're just going to brag about you for a few minutes. The year began with a nomination and honorable mention in the fall for Tim Rose and Robert Boussier from the National Scholastic Press Association for their Mustang Movie Minute Commentary Series.
Soon after, the New England Scholastic Press Association honored 3 NHS TV reporters with special recognitions as a part of a fall contest on localization. Adeline Janed, Julia Salvaggio, and Sophia Sartori each took home the honors for the stories that they produced.
In the spring, NHS-TV students traveled to Seattle for the STN National Convention, where they attended workshops and breakout sessions with industry professionals. While they were there, they also competed head-to-head with students from across the country, taking home 2 national prizes.
Seniors Mustang sports reporters Brandon Walsh and Walter Santiago were awarded an honorable mention in the sports highlights and contest, and senior anchors Ali Kelleher and Tim Rose placed 3rd in the anchor competition with seniors Robert Boussier and Ryan Kelly on cameras.
Then, last month, 2 segments produced for Mustang Magazine won first place in the National Academy of Television Arts and Science Boston/New England Student Production Awards. Sophomores Jake McCarthy and Rose Donovan were honored for their feature story, and seniors Xavier Cullen and Joe Spadorsha won for their short documentary.
Xavier goes, yeah. Finally, we would like to give some special recognition to senior Joe Spadorsha for his participation in the student exchange program with the Carlsbad High School Broadcasting Program. Here is a short video highlighting his trip and exchange with the NHS-TV student Jake Watts.
All right, 48 hours until they...
This is me. I'm Joe Spadorsha, just like that graphic says. And in October, my TV teacher, Mr. Brunt, asked me to fly out to Carlsbad, California to see CHS-TV worldwide. And the word I was about to finish saying...
Exchange. What a way to kick this off.
This is Jake Watts. He's from Carlsbad, and I lived at his place for a week.
And then before I knew it, Joe was at my house.
And this is really good.
When I was at CHS-TV and 3,000 miles away from home, I got to experience so many cool things. I got to go to all Jake's classes, woohoo! Be on CHS-TV, eat fish tacos, go to lunch with STN CEO Nancy Lucas, meet Jake's dog Brixton, hi puppy, shoot a music video in LA, meet Jake's friends, and finally I...
Probably a best friend for the rest of my life. After living with somebody for 2 weeks, you gain a best friend.
Being in CHS-TV with Mr. Green, you never know what he's going to throw your way. I guess you could say I was caught off guard when he told me I was going to fly across the country to represent our program at another. In the beautiful town of Norwood, Massachusetts, I learned so many great life lessons and gained a lot of knowledge from all the amazing people that were there. I'll never forget when Joe Spadorsha took me to my first ever Bruins game. He also introduced me to his friend Jake Smallster, who I instantly had a connection with. The experience I had at the Garden was probably the most fun I've ever had, and I'll probably be a Bruins fan for the rest of my life. Before we got there, I'd never seen hockey in real life. So before the game, Joe Spadorsha thought it would be funny to let me gear up and play with his varsity hockey team. I'd only skated once or twice before. While still having a blast, I was able to get super productive at NHS-TV. With Miss Kelly to talk about Saturday and Impact Norwood. The broadcast exchange program was a life-changing experience, and I hope that one day other broadcast programs will do the same thing. Thank you so much to the kids and teachers in Norwood that made my experience so pleasant.
6 years with nowhere to steer when enough is enough. Guitars, tiki bars, and a whole lot of love.
Congratulations to all the students for their outstanding work, and thank you for representing Norwood on a local, state, and national level. Can we please give a round of applause for those students and all their amazing accomplishments?
Now we are going to begin our Nemmy Award portion of the program. These awards will recognize the outstanding stories and segments that aired on NHS-TV this year.
If your story wins a category, please come up and receive your award while your video plays. Now, let's get started. Our first category this evening is Best Camera Work in a Story.
The visual aspect of a story is a key component in understanding what is happening. Good stories will be well composed in sequence, utilizing a variety of wide, medium, and tight shots from various angles.
The visuals should attempt to take the viewers somewhere they can't go and show them something they didn't know. So, here are this year's nominees and winner for Best Camera Work in a Story.
This horse is Ren. He's a fjord. Yep, he really is really gentle.
21-year-old Ariana Agostino has a strong bond with horses.
When I was I loved them since I was 6. I don't know why. I don't know how.
She says riding horses helps her deal with some of the complications of being autistic.
It helps me concentrate more and helps me concentrate on stuff and my balance, and it's good for my body.
Agostino mainly rides at Willowbrook Farm in Holliston. Stephanie Fayola is her horse trainer. She says that horse therapy can really be beneficial for people like Agostino because of the way that the horse moves and how it naturally mimics the way humans move.
There, this is a much nicer corner, isn't it? Just feel like you're not going to fall down.
It's helped Ariana gain a lot of strength in her core and in her legs. It definitely helps with her focus and her attention to detail. And it's built up her confidence enough that she was able to get a job working with horses.
And these days, you can find Agostino grooming horses when she's not riding them.
This is currying. I rub in circles on the horse. There are two kinds of brushes that you do after the curry comb. The hard brush and the soft brush. The hard brush is more bristly and gets rid of a lot of the dirt, and the soft brush is more soft one.
Agostino says she loves being around horses so much that she's decided to build her life around them.
Working with horses, this is my passion. That's we moved one of the reasons we moved to Sherburne was to be in horse country. I only interact with a few people. I don't think it's a big deal. I'm not a sociable kind of girl. I prefer animals over people.
Agostino says she's grateful for having horses in her life, and she also says she hopes more children will try horse therapy.
I'd like to get more help on people with autism into therapeutic and recreational riding, because it'll help them like it helped me. being with horses made a big difference in my life.
And hopefully, it will make a big difference in someone else's. Reporting from NHS-TV, I'm Jake McCullough.
You're already doing your face.
Congratulations, guys.
Next up is best reporting in a story. A good journalist needs to have great reporting skills. It's not just about interviewing the right people. Getting the information wrong can ruin your reputation.
Investigative reporting and in-depth features requires reporters to have a good research and writing skills, so that their stories deliver the information in a way that the viewer may understand and that is fair and balanced.
And with that, we would like to recognize the nominees and winner for best reporting in a story.
Sitting at the low population of about 450, the North Atlantic right whale is one of the most endangered species of whale in the world, and the future doesn't look bright for its survival.
Hopefully it's not too little too late, because certainly the current trajectory of the North Atlantic right whale population is dire. I mean, I've spent a lot of time at sea and on the beach, documenting, diagnosing these animals. So I've lived it, I know it, and it hurts me a lot.
Michael Moore of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute warns of the fast decline of the whale that lives in our backyard.
There are only about 100 reproductively active females left, and they've been dying at around 5 a year, so that gives you about 20 years to deal, and that's a very short amount of time.
With time running low and the population falling, scientists have been trying their hardest to find any possible solution that could reverse the downward spiral, and the primary focus has been on the ropes used in fishing traps.
Larger whales, such as North Atlantic right whales, tend to specialize in getting entangled in rope from fish traps. The numbers come down to about a quarter of the population acquiring new entanglement scars every year. 84% of the animals have been entangled at least once.
Dragging the whale throughout the water, the ropes connected to crab and lobster pots wrap around vital areas of the whale and often lead to a great deal of suffering or even death. Haley McKee of the Defenders of Wildlife said that there is not enough rules and regulations in place against the ropes to save the species.
Clearly, there are protections in place. They are doing their job, but there need to be more. Unless we make some very serious changes, unless the National Marine Fisheries Service makes some very serious changes right now, we may lose the North Atlantic right whale within our lifetime, which would be a tragedy.
In Australia, the Desert Star program has created new technology that could eliminate the threats of fishing rope and possibly save the right whale.
Scientists and entrepreneurs are testing ropeless fishing gear, which I think is awesome. And they're a win for, fishermen and seafood consumers as well as whales.
So ropeless fishing is actually a poor choice of words, because it's actually less rope fishing rather than ropeless.
Early versions of ropeless fishing used new technology to wirelessly send a rope up to the surface where the fisherman wants to retrieve the pot. But Stephen Haller, delegate for the Massachusetts Lobstermen Association, believes it will create more problems than solutions.
We as fishermen rely on the buoys so we can see other people's gear so we won't set on top of them. Traps are going to be lost and stuff like that. And it just creates a bigger mess, not only for the fishermen, but the whale, because now there's lost gear there. We don't want to lose gear. One, it costs money. Two, it doesn't help the ecosystem.
But as prototypes have been approved upon by Desert Star, a free Android app has been developed for fishermen to see where they and other fishermen around the area have placed their traps, avoiding possible overlap. But the cost of it all, Haller says, can be too much to bear.
I think you're seeing the decline of fishermen more so than you are whales, and it's if they keep going and going and going. I mean, I look at it this way: no one else is getting in the business. give us 20 years. We'll all be out of the business anyways because no one's getting in it.
Unfortunately for the fishermen, they are, it's unfair to say they're the low-hanging fruit, but they are the manageable entity, much as though they would not like to be managed, and I totally respect that. The reality is that if there was a will, there would be a way to achieve that change.
I got him. He's in. Back up. Get the boat buoy ready to go over.
There are people that love the whales, and I love them too, but we're seen as the big bad guys. We're the rapists. We're the murderers of the ocean. And it's just not so. We're family people. We're not killers. We love our children. We love our family.
The last thing we want to do is to really paint the industry in those lights, because it's not intentional. But if you look at the definition of whaling, there's nothing about intent involved. It's to catch a whale. And they've been catching whales with fixed gear for a long time at this point.
I guess I got a little grudge against them. But hey, I'm trying. I go to the meetings, with everybody. I try to, help support this industry and stuff like that. And it's just disheartening what they say. Nope, they want to do this, they want to do that. And I said, well, what about this? Nope, they didn't even want to hear it.
But time's running low, and meaningful legislation has yet to be implemented to save the whales.
I believe very strongly that with adequate knowledge and understanding, we should be able to bring the necessary political pressure. But I failed in that regard, for sure. I've been writing about the entanglement welfare side of things for 20 years, and traction has not come.
If you care about the North Atlantic right whale, then you need to let your representatives know that you take their conservation seriously.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Joe Spidosha.
Congratulations. Being a Mustang means a whole lot more than being part of a sports team here at Nord High. Being a Mustang has to do with being a part of the Nord community, culture, and family.
And with that, our TV program works tirelessly to bring you high-quality content about the specific news happenings in our school.
Here are the nominees and winner for the Best School News Story.
Students were spreading kindness on Giving Tuesday. Senior class president Gia Rodriguez greeted her classmates at the door.
We gave them a bingo board and some chocolate just for them to kind of spread the words, read what was on the bingo board, and see if they would just give back a little bit, show some kindness.
The door prizes and greetings were followed by activities in the library aimed at helping out specific causes.
You could make sea creatures, and from that, each sea creature made, $2 is donated to some sort of ocean wildlife foundation that helps the creatures, the sea creatures. You can make placemats or lunch bags, decorate them, and all of that goes towards Meals on Wheels.
Interim Vice Principal Cindy Durain says the library was busy all day. She said she was most impressed with the thank you cards to first responders.
There's some great notes, really heartfelt notes to first responders, so I would say the library activities went really well.
And outside the library, students and faculty were supporting another great cause by wearing a special t-shirt they purchased as part of an internal fundraiser.
We Are One was a slogan that some of the kids came up with just to sort of show unity as a school, and in particular we wanted to let Natalia Donnelly, who the proceeds from the shirts are benefiting today, know that everybody here is a family and behind her and wants her to be well.
T-shirt fundraisers and sea creatures aside, organizers say the day was really more about spreading kindness.
My favorite part of today was just seeing everyone wishing each other happy Global Giving Day, and seeing everyone really receptive of the message that we were trying to spread.
I heard a couple of kids say later it felt really good to be met at the door. It was a great way to start the day and knowing that somebody was glad to see them.
Global Giving Day was the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, but regardless of the day, organizers say they hope students continue to be giving and kind. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Lori Kerr.
Congratulations. Not all the stories we complete are specifically about the events and happenings around our school. Some focus on the culture in and around our community.
Our reporting staff this year caught up with several interesting folks in and around the Norwood community, specifically impacting the culture.
So here are this year's nominees and winner for Best Community Feature.
George Bent says he loves to fly. He's been doing it since he was a teenager.
Aviation was always an interest of mine. I would say it was more of a hobby than anything. It's been sort of a 20-year journey of getting to where I am now.
And even though his full-time day job as a fireman has kept him busy the past 14 years, he still finds time to work the skies.
I would say I've been working in aviation for about, 10, maybe a little bit more. My first aviation job was flying traffic reporting in a small airplane.
Bent is currently the Group 1 captain in the Norwood Firehouse. That means he oversees a team of first responders who operate 2 ambulances, 2 fire engines, and a ladder truck. But when he isn't busy saving lives, Bent often uses his free time to qualify for more advanced piloting licenses.
I kept chipping away at it, and every year I would try to get qualified in something new or get some new kind of license or whatnot.
These days, Bent's now certified to fly many different aircrafts.
Well, I fly a small jet called a Citation XL, which holds about 10 people. I fly a smaller version of that as well, and I also fly a Bell Jet Ranger helicopter.
And since Bent spends so much time being a pilot and a fireman, he says it can be tricky to find time for both.
The biggest thing is scheduling, because not only do you have to worry about the job on both sides, you also have to worry about family life and home life. So I can't be gone 8 days in a row at work. It's not fair to my wife, it's not fair to my kids. So it's a matter of just trying to find that balance among everything.
In the end, Bent says he's glad to have 2 jobs where he's helping people.
You discover as you get older things that you like and things that you enjoy and things that you're good at, and that's just sometimes the direction you go in.
So the next time you hear a plane flying over Norwood, look up. It might be Fireman Bent working on another license. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Maggie Curran.
Congratulations. A lot of the characters in our stories take us away from the school campus, but this next award specifically features students from our school.
There are many students walking around NHS with a story to tell, and a few of our reporters were lucky enough to catch up with them and hear their story.
Here are the nominees and winner for the Best Student Profile/Feature.
Senior Fiona Campbell is a musician who has been working on her music for many years.
I started making music in 6th grade. That's when I wrote my first song. I started playing music when I was in 3rd grade. It was always a creative output, and I always enjoyed kind of singing and performing and art.
Campbell says singing and performing is a way to clear her mind.
It's a way to just let go. It kind of gives me time to just take a break from any stressful part of the day. I work on my music almost every day. It's just, again, that kind of breather from life.
And while Fiona spends a lot of time improving her craft, she does have some help.
Fiona's been my student for many years. I actually can't even remember how many. She started with me when she was really, really small, and we've been together for a long time.
Campbell's teacher, Lisa Eves, says there's been a lot of growth over the years.
Her skills started out with the ability to sing, and that was it. And then slowly she developed the ability to play guitar quite well. Her voice has improved immensely. Now it's to the point where she could do theater and sing the high notes with power and strength.
Campbell says she draws inspiration from other musicians.
I just thought, well, these people are creating their own music, why can't I? And I decided to try to create my own song. And then once I finished that song, I just went on to the next song, and I just kept making it.
Fiona decided to take it to the next step and start producing her own albums.
So I have 2 albums, one called Breakaway and one called Heading Home. Heading Home, which I released this year, was released on September 15th. And my last album, Breakaway, was released when I was a freshman in 2015.
With 2 completed albums under her belt, Campbell has been expressing herself through different types of music genres.
They all kind of have a different feel to them, so sometimes I kind of make a song that has a jazzy feel, sometimes I make a song that has a more rock style, and then sometimes I make a song that has a more electronic feel.
The inspiration is not directly drawn from personal experiences.
I honestly don't really experience a lot of what's in my songs, and I typically kind of get them from TV shows or listen to other people's experiences. But when I write songs, I tend to focus on more of the melody, and that's kind of more my inspiration for songs. And I get inspiration from other musicians. I've taken inspiration from people like Ed Sheeran, Ingrid Michaelson, Green Day, Beatles, Queen, just anything.
And Campbell isn't just a recording artist, she performs regularly at various local venues.
I perform a lot in Mansfield, so some of the places I perform is the Black Box Theater, where I do a lot of open mics, and sometimes Lisa does performances there and recitals, so I join her with doing that. Any chance there is for me to perform, I'll always perform.
To hear more of Fiona's songs, visit her YouTube channel, Fiona Bell Camp, or look her up on Spotify or Apple Music. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Renee Babineau.
Congratulations, guys. Sports are a large part of what we do here at the NHS community, and having reporters to cover them is a big part of what we do here at NHS-TV.
Athlete profiles, team events, games, and in-depth features are all part of the YouStaying Sports blog and can be viewed by visiting youstangs.com.
Here are the nominees for Best YouStaying Sports Feature.
When junior field hockey player Allie McDonough first realized she wanted to play in college, she was just a sophomore.
My
figured like I wanted to get recruited. So I joined a club team called Allegiance, and they're out of Providence. And then with my club team, I went to tournaments.
And from those tournaments, she started to get noticed by college coaches.
And then when I got contacted, I would go to their recruitment camps so they could see me play.
McDonough has been a 3-year starter for the varsity team at NHS. Heading into junior year, the offers from coaches started to come in.
After September 1st, they can start to talk about like offers and how much they can give you. So it kind of got difficult with like communication because it had to be like a one-on-one type of thing.
And recruiters just don't talk sports. There are other factors.
You have to explain what you're going to do for that school and like how you want to take on education.
Senior lacrosse player Jake Smelster began his recruiting process in a similar fashion.
Found me at one of my tournaments in the fall, and then they continued to reach out to me, and so I sent them my highlights.
Once a school and an athlete show mutual interest, the next step is a visit. For Smelster, that meant traveling to Ithaca College in New York.
For a visit, I talked to the head coach, Coach Long, continued on my visit, and I came for an overnight, and I committed on August 7th, 2018 over the summer.
Smelster has recently signed a letter of interest to play, but McDonough, being only a junior, still has until next year to make up her mind.
And you have to talk about pretty much like going on campus as much as possible, but like if you commit in senior year, it's like you have more of a time gap to like see where you want to put yourself, I guess.
Smelster is graduating in June and plans on enrolling at Ithaca next fall. McDonough says she's leaning towards Stonehill but hasn't made any commitments yet. Stay tuned to the Mustang Sports blog for any new developments. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Nick Spadorza.
Congratulations, guys. Even though we tend to cover serious matters and focus on the unhumorous side of things, from time to time we like to take a step back and have a good laugh.
So sit back and get ready to laugh because our nominees and winner for most humorous segments are up next.
Mangoes can get sunburnt, so lather up. Pumpkins are fruit.
Congratulations, guys. The next segments we will be recognizing were ones that regularly aired on NHS-TV.
These segments vary in content, but they are all perfect fits for this category. In order to qualify for a recurring segment, they must have aired at least 3 episodes on Mustang Magazine or NHS Update.
Here are the nominees and winner for Best Recurring Segment.
National Public Radio Student Podcast Contest.
That's right, Aiden. And for this contest, we are telling a story from our community that we feel is important to people. Matt Brown is a 2012 graduate from Norwood High School and a 2016 graduate from Stonehill College. In a varsity ice hockey game in January of 2010, Matt suffered a traumatic neck injury that left him paralyzed from the neck down.
That injury inspired him to write his new book that has recently been released titled Line Change. We now have Matt with us here in the barn to talk about his journey. Matt, thanks for being here today.
Thanks, guys. I'm really excited to be here.
I just want to start off by saying I read the book cover to cover, and I felt like when I was reading it, I didn't want to put it down. It was a truly inspirational book to read, and it was probably one of the best books I've ever read, so congratulations to you for that.
Yeah, that really means a lot. I think that was our goal, is really to, tell a story that it's more that me and the reader having a conversation.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like for us.
That's what it felt like to me,
too. It didn't
too.
feel like a conversation. It didn't feel like a real book.
I spent several classes just like reading it in the front of the classroom. Mr. Brunt just staring at me like, why are you reading right now? You should be doing your work.
But yeah, in the opening chapters of the book, you discuss the days following the accident. For those who haven't read it, how did you initially feel?
When I first got hurt, do you want me to go through like the injury on the ice? So when I first got hurt, one of the things that you're taught as a hockey player is when you get hit, you get back up and get back in the play. And when I sent that message to my body, nothing happened. And I kind of got nervous, and I tried again, and nothing happened. And that's when I knew it was a serious injury. I kind of blacked out, floated in and out of consciousness. And then when I kind of came to, there were a lot of people on the ice, and that let me know that this was serious. They loaded me up onto a stretcher and brought me to South Shore Hospital, where I spent just a few hours there. And then Children's Hospital came down and got me, and by this time I was sound asleep doing just because of the medicine. And it was, I woke up 5 or 6 days later at Children's Hospital. And, I asked the normal questions, why me? Why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this? And, I was really down. At 15, you're going a mile a minute going to the beat of your own drum. And that my whole world stopped, and I really became dependent on others. But then when I saw that I had friends, family in there rooting for me, cheering for me, knowing that they're going to be behind me through all this, I said it's time to look forward and not back. Set a goal to beat this and work as hard as I can for as long as it takes.
Congratulations. Next, we would like to recognize some great Mustang Magazine stories and segments that just missed the cut for tonight's award.
Here are the 2019 Nemmy honorable mentions. Another type of production we do here at NHS-TV are the short films for the NHS Update After Dark and a few special occasions.
Short films are exactly what they sound like, student-based films that are sometimes entered into student film competitions that usually hold a central message.
And here are the nominees and winner for this year's Best Short Film.
My name is Autumn Fear. I'm 17 years old and I am a Halloween enthusiast.
Autumn, I need you to drive me to gymnastics practice.
Sabrina, I can't. I'm having a Halloween Town movie marathon.
Again? This is like the third one this month, and it's only September 8th.
Listen, I do not have time. It is approximately 53 days until Halloween, and I am already running behind on my schedule.
If my sister said that she was a Halloween enthusiast, she's wrong. She is definitely a Halloween addict. I have been late to countless gymnastics practices because of her movie marathons and reorganizing her Halloween closet. Oh, sorry, I meant her regular closet. Anyways, she has a problem and I think I know how to fix it.
Autumn, I have a fun idea for us. We could do some sisterly bonding type thing.
What did you have in mind?
We could pick out some outfits for each other.
Okay.
This is going to work. After she sees how she looks in normal clothes, she'll want to get rid of all of her Halloween clothes.
Okay, Autumn, come on out.
What the is this?
Some cute clothes. You look great.
Just give me a second. Here I come.
Oh dear goodness.
Time for Plan B.
Oh my gosh. How did you know I was gonna redecorate? I just got back from the store.
When did you even change?
This calls for reinforcements.
Noah, thank you so much for coming.
Is everything okay? Your text sounded urgent.
Well, I need your help with Autumn's Halloween problem.
How do I know Autumn? Well, we used to date from the beginning of freshman year to the middle of junior year.
Sabrina, who's at the door? Noah? What are you doing here?
I just wanted to talk to you.
I swear to God, why do we always have to have this conversation? I do not have a problem. I just get really excited for Halloween.
When Autumn and I first started dating, I knew that she liked Halloween, but as time went on, it started to become more of a problem. Nope, an addiction. She started ditching me to watch Halloween movies and buying spooky shirts. She even started putting up decorations in August. And when Sabrina came to me for help, I knew it was a problem.
I still have an entire Halloween movie to watch, and I expect no one to bother me. Understood?
Yes.
Good.
I thought having Noah here would help. She was head over heels for him, and now those feelings are just gone.
I don't know what to tell you, Noah. I really thought her seeing you would work.
It's like Halloween is completely taking over her mind. I think this is beyond two amateurs like us.
Well, who are you gonna call? A Halloween addiction specialist?
Hi, my name is Grace Wheeler, and I am a Halloween addiction specialist.
Grace, thanks so much for coming.
Anytime.
Come on in.
Thank you. Now, where's my patient? How am I a qualified Halloween addiction specialist? Well, I may only be a junior in high school, but last year I took a college-level psychology class at Harvard, learning all about how the human brain works, particularly in the realm of addiction. Then I started my own Halloween addiction business, and yes, it is a real thing.
She's in her room.
She's having another Halloween Town marathon.
I see. Let's have a look.
Who's your friend?
Good luck.
Otto, I'm here to help. These people love you and want your problem to just go away.
Look, I really appreciate what you're trying to do here, but I don't need help. I don't have a problem. I just love Halloween.
There are 2 steps to completely cure someone from an addiction like this. The first step is to put the person in an environment without the thing they are addicted to. Then, the second step starts to work on its own, when the person realizes how irrational they were being during the time of their addiction. Autumn, do you want to go to a pumpkin patch?
It's only September.
Exactly. It's indoors and open year-round. But it closes soon, so we should go, like, now.
Let's go now.
It was not an indoor pumpkin patch. I spent 2 weeks at a help center where it was just really mean people making me talk about my problem.
My room! Who did this?
Well, Autumn! Welcome home! How was your time away?
It was great. I really think being at that help center helped me get rid of my problem.
I'm glad. I'll be back in 1 week to check and see how you're doing. Thanks, Grace. We really appreciate it. Anytime. The help center did not help. Grace is coming back today, and she told me she knows how to get Halloween out of her system completely.
This is most definitely going to work. I learned a special meditation trick at Harvard that'll make her not want anything to do with Halloween.
Okay, Autumn. When I see you again, you might feel different, but just remember that I love you with Halloween or without.
I love you too, Sabrina, and I know I get annoyed with you, but I really do appreciate what you're trying to do.
I'll be in the other room with Noah. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, Autumn, you're just gonna lie down and relax. I'm gonna play some gentle music and you're gonna fall asleep. When you wake up, you'll feel different, okay?
Okay.
Autumn, just focus on my voice. Think about something other than Halloween. Focus on something else. Something you love that isn't Halloween. Let that love take over all of your Halloween thoughts and feelings. When I snap my fingers, you will wake up and not have any addictive feelings towards Halloween. 3, 2, 1.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
Tell me, what comes to mind when I say the word Halloween?
Costumes and candy? I don't know.
No emotional attachment towards Halloween.
No?
Excellent. I'll be in the other room with your sister and Noah.
Okay, I'll be out in a minute.
I think that the meditation really helped, and I do think that it...
Here I come! Merry Christmas!
Congratulations. And now for our last Nemmy Award of the evening, our Mustang Magazine Story of the Year.
This award is for the best overall story aired during the current school year. The nominees were chosen from the top scoring winners in each category.
Here are the 2019 nominees and winner for Story of the Year. Congratulations. There's no need to show the story again since we already aired it.
That's all for the Nemmy Awards portion of the show, but the night's not over just yet.
So now we would like to reintroduce Mr. Brunt to present the Student of the Year Award.
It's coming up here, right?
All right. For the last portion of our show, we'd like to honor a few students that have gone above and beyond. This year's Student of the Year nominees are amazing students, so let's get to know them a little better now. As your video plays, please come up to the podium and wait for the group picture.
Hi, my name is Michael Curley. I am the Program Director for NHS Update, and I'm also the head of the Youth Staying Sports Department, and I'm also a co-producer and co-founder of the Stampede podcast. Every day I show up around 7:30, and as the Program Director, I call the shots during the actual production. So right when the show begins, I just tell the technical director when to switch the shots and just when to switch each camera, and I just kind of cue the talent pretty much. So I just kind of run the overall production of the show. My favorite memory on TV was actually our sophomore year. We went to BU for the NESPA conference. Mr. Brunt took our whole class, and me and Walter Santiago, we kind of went around the whole day. We're pretending to take tourist pictures, and we made like a video of it. And looking back on it, it still gives us good laughs. So that's a good memory we have. My all-time favorite segment was this year. For the Stampede podcast, me and my partner Aiden Mulligan, we did a podcast about Matt Brown's book Line Change. I had known his story beforehand, but just being able to talk with him about his book, it really gave me just a great insight on how he felt during everything and how, like, why he wrote the book and what inspired him, and just like he's been an inspiration for the whole town of Norwood. TV programs really taught me how to expand and how to really just kind of reach out. You're really able to just kind of get out of your comfort zone more. That's really the biggest part that I've learned from TV class. STM is really just a great experience. It was great to make these connections with kids from all around the country, and even with these professionals in the field. Just being able to compete with kids who have a passion for this, kids from all around the country who have the same passion as you, is just a really great experience. So next year I will be attending the University of Notre Dame, where I was accepted into the Mendoza School of Business, where I plan on studying finance. Yo man, check out the UCF football team. Man, they got rigged. They got the whole college football playoff rigged. They should be it this year. It should have been it last year. It's rigged.
My name is Austin Reardon. I am the news director of NHS Update, and I am the head of the news department in the TV classrooms. On NHS Update, I write and plan the show. So we have a script that we go through. It's called a rundown, and we have the anchor script as well as what we're going to be rolling into the show in that. So that way everybody can see before the show starts where we're going the entire show. For Mustang Magazine, I help write the script and plan the show. So we have a bunch of different segments that go into Mustang Magazine, and we plan which ones we want to go where and what show each one goes into. So we try to pick a theme for Mustang Magazine and try to make the shows fit into that theme. And then once we're done with the theme, we'll write the tosses and the anchor shots, and then we'll shoot it all together and edit it together. First actual story that I ever did with Calvin Meyer, my boy, and we did it on it's a gym, and it was an up-and-coming gym. It's now established. It's doing a lot better, and it's a gym in Norwood that the kid that we were interviewing, or the guy now that we were interviewing, is on the Boston Celtics dunk team. And it was just so cool to see what they could do, like all the flips and stuff they can do. My STN experience was amazing. I had an absolute really good time. I had an awesome time. And it was, one, because I was with my friends, two, because I got to like see a new city and explore. And it is something about like just doing work and sitting down and getting it done and then seeing it be complete. That's awesome. Definitely listening to Brunt's stories and TV is probably one of my most fond memories. The TV program has pretty much just taught me how to be an adult, really. Like, I'm in a leadership role. I have to communicate with different teachers around the school, with different kids. I have to be able to like get all the news from around the school and the town and put it into my show and make sure that everybody's getting that information. After high school, I'm looking into colleges. I have not yet made my decision. I've narrowed it down to Quinnipiac University in Connecticut, Wentworth, and University of Massachusetts Lowell. Right now, I'm planning on becoming either a mechanical or electrical engineer. He always goes like, karate chop! And that'd probably be my best impersonation of Brunt.
My name's Tim Rose, and I am the senior staff reporter for NHS Update, and then I'm also an anchor for NHS-TV on the whole. As a senior staff reporter, I'm a person who makes segments, so whether that be stories or I do the Mustang Movie Minutes, which are kind of a movie review, or like some man on the street type stuff. I've done a bunch of different segments. When I'm not making segments, I'm anchoring here at the desk actually with my co-anchor, and so we'll sit down here every morning, we'll read over the script, we'll talk to each other, make sure that the script looks good, and then basically the news airs at 7:45. All-time favorite segment would probably be my To Stand or Not story that I did in sophomore year. So we went around and we talked to teachers and students about their opinions on standing for the pledge or not, and we turned it into basically a story about kind of what Norwood High was thinking about this issue that was taking place in our country. My Nashville experience, which is my first STN, that was a lot of fun back in 2018. This most recent one, Seattle, which we just came back from a couple days ago, that was a lot of fun too. We competed in the anchor team, which was a little bit more stressful than live interview because a lot more teams competed in that contest. Seattle, we got to actually see the city, which was a lot of fun. And then the closing ceremonies came and we won again, which was awesome. So I haven't committed yet, but I think I'm going to be going to Syracuse University in the fall. Ooh, my impersonation of Brunt. Massachusetts people, you don't know how to drive, man. Like down in Florida, we're crazy drivers. You guys, you're all over the place on the road. And you guys, you Massachusetts people, you don't know heat. Back in Florida, man, we eat up heat. And gators, don't even talk about it, man. We take those all day. And by the way, I make my own surf wax.
I'm Joe Spadorsha. I'm the Mustang sports blog reporter, Mustang magazine producer, and social media manager. I'm the sports anchor for NHS Update, and sometimes I'm the regular anchor. I deliver the sports news, I give sports scores, I do the highlights, and when I anchor, I just deliver the school announcements. For Mustang Magazine, I'm a producer. Sometimes I make segments, but most of the time I just oversee the whole process of making sure that Mustang Magazine gets the anchor shots in. I direct, make sure the anchor shots get done and they're good. Then I give them to our editor, and he line edits them. My favorite memory from TV is probably going to California and NHS-TV in Carlsbad. And the experience with Jake Watts was probably one I'll never forget. I had a lot of fun with him. I got to produce a music video in LA. I was the creative director for that. And I also got to be on their show every day, which was super cool. My all-time favorite segment I made was the 1 minute I got to produce for the Award of Excellence. About the exchange, and it didn't win any awards because I didn't enter it for any awards. It was just really to showcase what the trip was. The TV program has taught me to, be myself and figure out what I'm good at and kind of exploit it and use it in every way possible. And I'm glad I can just be myself, and who cares what other people say about me. I went to STN in Nashville and I went to STN in Seattle. Both were different because in Nashville I don't think I left the hotel more than once, but in Seattle we got to go all over the place. We got to go to a Red Sox game, and I definitely learned a lot about video production and then podcast production in Nashville, but the memories that we have inside the hotels is what's going to stick with me. Next year I will be attending Stonehill College in Easton, Massachusetts with a communications major, and hopefully I can go into the sports broadcasting industry during my time at Stonehill and long after. I'll probably chop you in the head right now.
See you next time. Have a great day, Mustangs.
All right, let's go. I'm gonna move out in the front there. All right, can we get a round of applause for these four guys? Stay where you're at, stay where you're at. It was a really hard decision, when I got four great candidates like this. Honestly, if I could give them all Student of the Year, I would. After a lot of turmoil about who I was going to go with, I asked myself, who's always there when I call? Who's always there when we need something? Who's always going above and beyond? Who's always bringing stuff to me? Mr. Brunt, this is what we need to do. Let's do this. Let's try that. So I sort of came down to Joe Spadorsha as my Student of the Year. I'm really going to miss this guy when he leaves. It's not often that you get a kid in your class where you change what you're doing. You change the way you teach. You change the lesson plans that you're doing. And Joe Sportish is one of those kind of kids. So he had his hands on just about everything that we did from freshman year to senior year. So I'm really proud of him, and I'm so glad that he picked TV and that we got to market his amazing skills. So without any further ado, Student of the Year goes to Joe Spadorsha. All right. I'm going to turn things back over to Jared and Juliana, and we're going to shut this thing down.
Thank you for a great year, everybody. This concludes the 2019 Nemmy Awards. We'd like to thank everyone for coming and those who watched online.
Remember, you can always watch our programs by visiting our website at mustang.media. Thank you, everybody, and have a great night.